What's up guys, this is Coach Ray and welcome to the frequently asked questions in arm wrestling. Today I'm going to answer the questions about arm wrestling training. So we receive so many questions that basically just overlap the same question over and over again. So I didn't want to make a video where I answer like each training question separately. I'm just going to make one longer video. But if you are looking for a specific topic, down in comment section as well as in description there are timestamps. Basically click on the timestamp and you're there and you will see the information that I'm talking about. What is the best way to train for arm wrestling? Basically the question is, what is the best exercise for arm wrestling? And the answer is pretty simple. Arm wrestling is the best exercise for arm wrestling. Go on table. You don't have to have professional tables like we have, just on normal, and work with someone. This will be more beneficial than anything else that you can do regardless of arm wrestling training. Really having that feel, understanding positions, understanding when you are strong, where you are weak, and working on table is the best thing you can do for arm wrestling. Can you only do table time in arm wrestling? In my opinion, that is not the optimal way to train, but we know that a lot of guys are doing it. Bulgarian system, John Berzank mostly did table practice. Devon Larratt works more on table than I think with weights, maybe now a little bit differently, but a lot of guys have benefited and been again on a pinnacle of the sport. So you can do only table practice. But as soon as you feel that there are some moves or some angles where you're just not getting stronger, this is when you need to do some extra stuff. So yeah, you can do just table time, but like look at it critically. As soon as you plateau, change something. Can I only do weight training and be good at arm wrestling? Here I'm gonna say, depends who you are. If you're beginner and you're just gonna do weights, most likely I would say you will get injured in big competition, because weights don't hit back. Just like in boxing, weights don't hit back. In arm wrestling, when you're on table with someone, you're pushing your arm here, he's pushing it back, you're pulling, turning, everything is going on. With weights, you will have mostly resistance from 2-3 points, mostly 1 in your training. So you cannot prepare your tendons for that kind of loads. But if you're arm wrestler who already has good base, you're super good on table, you know your technique, you know how to work it, then you can just work with weights. But ultimately everyone get back to table practice, weights, and mix those things up. How to mix arm wrestling training with bodybuilding training. Another thing I hear a lot, like I'm going to gym, I just want to get huge, but also want to be strong at arm wrestling. So you can arm wrestle once a week, or you can do some specific exercise for arm wrestling to get stronger in those arm wrestling positions. Again, what kind of exercise are you doing? Really depends on you. I would always recommend for bodybuilders to strengthen their finger flexors, wrist flexors, things like that, because those are the muscles that they usually neglect. They say they do some full range of motion curls, but it's not even close to arm wrestling training. So I would say work on the thing that you don't really do in your training. If you're doing enough hammer curls and biceps and things like that, that you're like back pulls, you're already mimicking some of the arm wrestling movements. But you need to focus on things that you are not doing. So I would recommend, like, if your wrist sucks, work on your wrist. And how you put it in your training, it doesn't have to be like separate day. You can do just 1 or 2 exercises after your main workout. So a lot of guys I know that are doing this, like they will do some bodybuilding stuff. At the end, they will work on some wrist flexion, some like pull-up variation, things like that, or they just were gonna put it in their workout. It shouldn't be a lot, it should be 1-2 exercises, and you'll be good and you will gain some progress. What should I train if I can do just one thing? I would say work on one thing you're really bad at. Like if you have just time for one thing to train, then work on something that you're really horrible at. If you have a lot of time, then you would focus on your strengths more than your weaknesses. But like if like my angle doesn't hold up, work on that angle. If you have no side press, work on that side press. So if you have only one thing, I would recommend working on one thing that sucks, because it will bring everything else in a level, so you will get stronger. Grip training is arm wrestling training. No, grip training is grip training. Like, really easy way to understand it, and we had discussion with Rob Wiegand about this in comment section. It's like, when you're doing something for grip training, you're just holding things. In arm wrestling, you have to curl those things in. So holding and curling is two different things. Like, it's hard to squeeze something, but then actually move it, and this is what arm wrestling training is. And everyone who thinks like grippers are great and anything else that builds strong grip, you have to pull your opponent's hand to the side. It doesn't matter like how strong can you squeeze it if you have nothing here. So grip training is not arm wrestling training, but grip training can be very beneficial for your arm wrestling training. But you need to look at it a little bit differently, because arm wrestling training, your hands will be in different position than it would be in normal grip events or lifting, you know. So arm wrestling grip training is different than normal grip training, but still grip training will help you to become stronger. Bicep training is arm wrestling training. I know a lot of guys back in the day and even now, do you train for arm wrestling? Yes, I did some bicep curls, some hammer curls, and like, first of all, like, biceps is the flexor of elbow muscle, and it works when our arm is supinated like this. We usually have our arm like this. This is when brachioradialis muscle takes over. And still, like, bicep training can help you, but if you have super strong biceps, no wrist, no back pressure, doesn't matter. So bicep training is not arm wrestling training, but it can be very beneficial if you work on it in proper arm wrestling variations or styles. So strengthening that bicep tendon that gets your arm here, pulls it close, very beneficial, but it's not the main thing, or not even the top thing, in my opinion, in arm wrestling. Is pull-ups the greatest gym exercise for arm wrestling? I would say at least like top 2. You know, when you're doing pull-ups, you're activating all the same muscles. Don't think about classic pull-ups. We're talking about arm wrestling pull-ups. Arm wrestling pull-ups are closer angles, everything is inside. You maybe have something on your hands to have like harder grip, and it really helps you in arm wrestling, especially to understand these movements like pulling, you know, just all that back pressure. So pull-ups are one of the best exercises you can do. It's not the best, but like for beginners, we usually give them to do different variations of pull-ups, and it's almost never full range of motion, wide, because arm wrestling, we are here, so you need to train. If you give someone good pull-up variation, they will have better understanding on what's going on table, if they can do it. Because pull-ups are hard, not everyone can do them, and you can substitute them with different variations. But yes, in my opinion, it is one of the best exercises for arm wrestling. Should I train when I feel pain? Like, the easiest answer is no. Have I done it? Hell yeah, a lot of times. So it's always, you're still fighting, you still want to get better. But the problem is, pain is an indicator that something is not working or something should not be working. So taking some time off or doing other stuff, because arm wrestling is very, like, every time you're doing pronation and it hurts, maybe you can do supination, it won't hurt. So you're conditioning, getting that balance. So flexors hurting, extensors doesn't hurt. So, you know, always you can find a workaround. Take some time off from exercise where there is pain. Work on antagonist, the other side, like the flexors, extensors. Like if one side feels pain, sometimes it's disbalanced because other side has not been trained. So I would recommend, don't do exercise where you feel pain, switch to something else, but keep working. Do some light stuff. If you feel, let's say you're doing pull-ups with 50 kilos and you feel something in your like bicep or brachialis muscle, and you didn't feel it with 20 kilos, work with 20 kilos. It's better to be healthy. In my opinion, the most important thing is being healthy. Being healthy for longer will bring you further away in the sport, or any other sport for that matter. Can I train hook on one day and top roll on another day? I don't like when people are switching too much of styles, especially beginners. Like you can do some exercises from hook to strengthen everything in your arm, but you still want to focus on your main technique if it's top roll. So schedule your training 70-30%. 70% the main technique, 30% like the other stuff for other techniques. I don't like when guys are doing 50-50 and then on table they're 50-50 and everything is 50% weaker than your opponents. So focus on one technique. I have said that many times, I still believe it. When you're like a lot of years in the sport, when you're enough time and you have enough mileage and enough experience, then you can have 2 or more techniques and it will work. But at start, one strong technique in my opinion. As a beginner, should I focus more on the side press? Like this is my Yanis, Ryan's and everyone else who posts videos of them doing side press fault. Beginners are looking at these videos and they're thinking like side press is the key. Arm wrestling is still about pulling everything in different variations and different angles, about pulling. So you should focus more on your pulling back pressure more than your side press, in my opinion. You should focus on your side press when you are like high level or good hook arm wrestler, or you just cannot finish your matches as a top roller. So that's when you need that side press. Other times you're just gonna put your elbow under a lot of stress, and I don't think it's good. I think it's not that good for community. And we post a lot of videos where we do side press because it's one of our favorite exercises and we do pretty decent weights, so we're pretty proud of what we're doing. But again, it's not like the only thing we do. It's less than 10-15% of our training. I know Ryan has more, but like for us it's such a small part. We're pretty good at it, so we like to show it off, you know. But for beginners, focus more on your back pressure. If you're not hook arm wrestler, so if you're hook arm wrestler, then you can do side press, but just make sure you don't get injured and you don't overdo it. How long will it take for me to become world level arm wrestler? And this is the question I got a lot of times. Or how long should I be a beginner? How long should I be amateur? How long till I be a pro? How long till I win national championship? Every of these questions will have the same answer. It goes with your investment. How invested you are in the sport. Do you think about it constantly? Do you think about techniques? Do you think about what you're doing, what you are not doing? Do you schedule your training? Do you schedule your recovery? Do you work on all those things in the highest level? Do you have distractions? Do you have no distractions? Your mental state and things like that. So for everyone it will be different. Everyone is built completely different. Everyone will have advantages, disadvantages. It depends how you use them. So I have seen guys going in 1 year becoming junior world champions in arm wrestling. I have seen guys doing it 8 years, they cannot win national title. So it really depends on you. If you're looking at someone and pointing fingers and blaming and saying like, he's cheating, he's doing this and that, and guy gets tested constantly, and you know, all these excuses, and I'm gonna make another video about excuses, but all I hear is excuses when you are not willing to work hard enough. When you're looking for easy way outs, looking to post blame for someone, and like, not everyone is lucky, you know, luck plays a little big role in this, but we have seen guys all over the spectrum. We have seen super talented guys just crumbling under the pressure, not training enough, not using their talent, and we have seen real grinders who really work hard and become like slowly they take their place in arm wrestling world as the best. If I have forgotten something or you have more questions, please leave a comment down below and I will make another video about it. So I hope this helps. You can find more about videos that we did about frequently asked questions in arm wrestling right here. So yeah, I hope this helps. Stay strong and love arm wrestling.